YouTube. Well, the Trans Am's been flinging a lot of belts lately, and we should have done this a long time ago because I've had problems with that Chap Performance alternator bracket since I put it on there. Shouldn't even have fooled with that. When I looked at the directions and they called it a backet instead of a bracket, there wasn't no R. They didn't even know how to spell it. But yeah, we got something else to put on there today, so hopefully it won't do that no more. There's the Chap Performance bracket. I wanted to mention something with it real quick. So it actually worked good when we added this piece. We added that piece and it worked really good. But now we switched to the LS01 water pump and spaced it out, and when we did that, the belt started hitting right there. But let me back up here. This one, if y'all didn't see the video where I put it on, but this one had this that goes right here. Well, the problem is that is not straight. So this wasn't straight. So this wasn't straight. It started flinging the belt off. I was able to space it out and get it to hold the belt for a while, but unfortunately, if you didn't get it really tight, the belt would come up and it would smack the other side of the belt. And when it did that, it'd fling it off. But now, when we have the truck water pump, which for some reason cleared the thermostat, when we switched to this, because his water pump went bad, I forgot exactly what happened there. But we switched to the LS01 water pump. His water pump, I think, went bad. I thought it'd be better to switch to this. It really wasn't. We should have just stayed with the truck one. But anyway, when we had the truck one, we had this, and we had the Chap Performance bracket, and we just tightened it up with that, and we left that off. And it cleared the water pump and everything, or the water pump, or the thermostat housing and everything was good. Well, when we did that and spaced it out, now it would hit the water pump housing for whatever reason. I guess it sticks out farther on LS1. Water pump. Anyway, we had to put this back on. We put this back on, we spaced it out, we tightened it over there, and it just wouldn't hold the belt because this would not mount. This is crooked. The mount's, it ain't flat like it should be, and it kept knocking it off. So I'll probably just throw that in the garbage. I don't even know why I'm keeping it. I shouldn't. But what we're switching to is this right here. This is what my buddy TJ uses on both his S10s, along with that bracket. The same setup, water pump, LS01 water pump, spaced out. He bought his as a kit that had that and that. I bought that separate, so now we're going to buy this separate. We bought this separate, and we're going to put this on today. You're wondering, this is $122.95. That other piece over there, I forgot how much that was, but you can buy it as a kit with that. We got 2 brackets, 3 countersunk bolts, 2 bolts that length, 2 bolts that length, 2 bolts that length, 3 different sets of spacers, and then in its own individual package, there was this right here. And then we got some directions, and we got a ruler over here to measure, because it'll tell you what size spacers to use. See, 2.33 spacer inches alternator. So let's see, number 1, we're going to install. I like pictures. We're going to install this bracket. It looks like directly to the head. Yeah. So let's go ahead and install that. Got a ground wire right there in one of them that we need to use, so we'll have to figure a different place to put that ground wire for our Alternator rubber. All right, you got 3 bolts on the bolt holes on the front of the head there, and the 3 countersunk bolts, and it goes on just like that in the front of the head. And make sure you unhook your battery, because that is a hot wire. And there's 4 bolt holes on the head. There's one over there, but it uses that one, and that one. And it does not use that one. Or we're not using it yet. I don't think it uses that one. I went ahead and tightened those 3 bolts up, or those, yeah, 3 bolts, and it was a Number 6 metric Allen. Yep. Number 6. Picture number 2. The green is the bolt size, and then the purple, I guess that's purple, is the spacer size. So we need a 1.61. It's going to call the spacers inches. So yeah, it's that spacer. I'd say that's closer to a 1.61 than any of them. And then the bolts will go metric, so we need the 60 millimeter. None of these are exactly 60 millimeters, but close enough. For us, LS01 water pump with spacer to space it out to the truck intake. That's what that's for. It's for the LS01 water pump spaced out for truck spacing with the spacers, or the LS3 Camaro water pump. See, we have the spacers to space it out for the truck balancer. So we'll use the 2 spacers, and we'll go into those 2 water pump bolt holes, and these holes right here on this bracket strap. Just finger tighten those so we can move this around, because we got to put the alternator and stuff in there, and hopefully this is going to clear and still let the throttle. Well, yeah, we'll see. All right, this one says to use the 2.33 inch spacers, which has to be these long ones. Yep. And it'll have to be these long bolts. And then we'll put the alternator in that hole and that hole. And it's going to go through, the bolt's going to go through these holes too. So the bolt through those holes, the alternator, and then those spacers to those bracket, that first bracket we put on. It has the bolts in this picture. M10 by 130. They're a little bit longer than they're supposed to be, but whatever. These 40 millimeter bolts, we won't even be using for what we're doing. That's the bolt I took off for the ground wire. That one don't count. So yeah, these bolts, the M10 by 40 millimeter. Again, a little bit longer. Those are for the LS3 water pump, and then the 8.83 inch spacers. Those are for the LS3 water pump. I'll just set those over there. Now I don't know what that's for. That come in an extra package by itself. I don't see it in the directions anywhere. Alright, and they say the bolts last. But you got to get the bolts in there first, just to even hold it up there. Then put the spacers in. Then it goes in these holes on this bracket. That one right there, and that one right there. This is why I left that outside bracket loose. I'm actually going to have to loosen it more, because it is not easy to get those spacers in there. Alright, it's all in. All the bolts are in. The spacers are in. Then we'll go ahead and zip her down. These are 13 millimeter. We'll zip these down first. That we put in first. And then these with the alternator, we'll go ahead and zip those down. It clears everything. I put this fuel line to the back of it like that right there. It's got that wire loom on it. It should protect it. I thought it was going to hit this. I was worried about that. It clears that. Let's go ahead and bring this back up to our stud, and then plug our alternator in right there. Then we have to figure out what size belt we need. Right, it's all on. Now we got to measure for a belt. This cable, it goes back to the starter, a little bit tighter than I like, but it's got wire loom going all the way back to the starter, so hopefully it won't rub through any of that. All that's going to move with the engine, the starter and this wire and everything, which it's got solid motor mounts anyway. The motor really don't move at all, but that should be fine. I'd like to make that a little bit longer, but we're about to take this car back to Texas, and I'm trying to hurry to get this done. So let's measure the belt. I'll show you how I measure the belt. Again, you have to use, you can't have a power steering. You have to use that with this kit, and this kit is for the truck spacing, but with LS1 and LS3 water pump. Now, I don't know the spacing on the LS3, but on the LS1 water pump, you have to use those spacers to get the truck spacing. And then you use that bracket, and you have to use that. That's what tightens it up on this side. There's the part number. Truck alternator bracket kit for turbo headers. It helps the turbo forward headers clear. And for LS01 Camaro water pump and LS3 water pump. Again, with the LS1 water pump, you have to use those spacers in between the block and the water pump. Now the LS3, I've never tried that, so I don't know about that. And this right here was extra. I don't see it in the directions anywhere. I don't know what that's for. It was in its own separate bag. Maybe they put it in there on accident. And then these we have extra, of course, because they're for the LS3. I'll put the part number for. I did a video when I put this in as well. If you want to scroll through the videos and find it, but I'll put that in the description. I'll put a link to that video, and then I'll put a link to the part number for this one. I already showed you the part number for that one. But you can buy it as a kit together, that one and this one, because they do go together. I bought this separate, trying to get that chat performance to work. But what I'm going to do, to loosen this one, you got to loosen that, and you got to loosen the bolt back here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle point and tighten it up, and then we'll take our measurement. So down there, up there, probably about right there. Check the belt length. So I got this strap. It doesn't stretch. Now you can use a string or anything like that, but if your string stretches, it's going to throw your reading off. But I use this, and I just put it on just like you put the belt on. So that's the way the belt would go on. It goes from the alternator under the power steering pump, or power steering. Why am I saying power steering? Under the water pump, up across this and down to the balancer. And then back up to the alternator. Now we'll pull that tight, and we'll make a mark, and then we'll measure it. All right, it's pulled tight. Come off the alternator a little bit, and then where it overlaps right there, we'll make a mark right there where my finger's at. Got a few marks on this thing, so I'm gonna make it as a plus sign. All right, now we're gonna measure from there to the end. That's our belt length. Measuring it, I come up to 61 3/4. So we're either going to get a 61 1/2 or a 62. And the way they list them, and this one has 6 screws, so it's K6. So we need a 615 or a 620 is what we need. So let's go to the parts store. Poof, there we go. We got a belt. It's not the size we wanted. This is 610, which means 61.0 inches. K6, 6 is the ribs. But that thing moves up and down a lot. I know TJ, he runs a 63 on his. I asked him. They didn't have, between a 61 and a 63, that's all they had in a 6 rib. Now on a 5 rib they had some, but let's see if that one fits. If not, we'll have to go back to the parts store. Yeah, look at that. Tons of adjustment. So TJ runs a 63. That's a 61 right there. And look. Whoops. Probably could have even got by with a fitting a 65, 605, 60.5 inches. Yeah, but anyway, 1/2 inch drive, you got to use an extension because you won't get the head of that past that. But make sure you're all in the grooves all the way around, and then pull up on this. It doesn't take a lot. Pull up on this, and then we'll tighten the nut, and then we'll tighten. Actually, I'm going to tighten that first because that countersunk kind of lines everything up. All tight. So yeah, that belt, that you got a wide variety of belts you can use. 61 or 63, I know for sure. Seeing with the chat performance, it would rub the thermostat housing right there. But yeah, there's plenty of room there. Plenty of room. Let's start it up, see what it looks like. Now that it's run a little and got in the grooves, I'm gonna tighten it up, loosen it, and then retighten it. Not try to loosen it, but just try to retighten it. Just loosen that just a little, and then I'll loosen that and try to pull it up. if y'all noticed or not, but it was missing, popping, and cracking. Dropping bolts. I forgot to put that ground wire on. It was on 4 cylinders. I went for a ride around the block and it wouldn't even hardly go. I mean, it would go, but it wouldn't go like I wanted it to go. So yeah, I'll fix the ground. Now we'll take it for a test drive. Alright, going good. We're still charging. The belt's on. I've got on it a few times, but the real test is going to be at the drag strip. These ICT billet stuff, I mean, they're good quality stuff. I don't see any problem with it messing up. I think it'll be just fine. Same setup TJ, my buddy TJ uses, and he don't have no problems at all. And he revs his to about 3 grand or 7,000 somewhat, whatever, whatnot.